All right, busy news night. Joining us now, Fox News contributor Sara Carter, The Hill's John Solomon. John, let's start with you. Did you notice inside the body of the story, it contradicted the headline?
Yeah, it felt like a straw man to me. And whenever you see a story where 8 paragraphs down, the headline is undercut, you're worried as a journalist. Listen, these are the same publications that previously promised us that there was evidence that senior Trump officials met with senior Russian intelligence officials. That didn't happen. It's the same one that predicted that Bob Mueller was going to have sealed indictments. That didn't happen. Remember that? I think we ought to wait and let the letter come out and let the Attorney General speak tomorrow, and I think we'll get a much different portrait than the leaks that were done tonight, probably to undercut Attorney General Barr's testimony tomorrow. Feels like a dirty trick, much like Fusion GPS.
Let me read to you, Sara Carter, the special counsel emphasized that nothing in the Attorney General's March 24th letter was inaccurate or misleading. Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing. Yeah.
Nothing. So this was about getting cornered, Sean. I'm going to tell you this. This is about getting cornered. And now they're screaming mad because they know someone's going to investigate what happened from the beginning of this investigation into President Trump and his campaign. And there are people within the intelligence community and within the government that are running scared now. And they are going to fight back tooth and nail. And they're going to target Barr, and they're going to target anyone that's going to investigate them. That's all this is about.
You know what? We know that he could have made a decision. You know, the fact that they say nothing. All right, John, let's move on to some other things because we've talked. Barr now has said the word spying. He's investigating. We know that the Inspector General on FISA abuse. That's why that's so relevant. The New York Times admission just recently, yeah, it was probably disinformation is huge.
It is a big deal.
A huge deal. Little 2 years plus about 2.5 years later behind you guys.
Right.
And more importantly, then we have Huber. Then we have 53 other closed-door testimonies were received. Gang of 8, FISA applications, all of that. 302s. You also working on Ukraine. What else is coming and who is going to be in trouble?
Well, I think a couple things. You're going to hear from the Ukrainian embassy later this week on a pretty extraordinary admission of what went on at the embassy and its complicity or it's an effort by a Democratic National Committee contractor to get dirt on Donald Trump from the embassy. But more importantly, we're going to take a look tomorrow night. I hope to be on your show again, and I hope to have the column out by tomorrow. Nellie Orr was routing significant amounts of her Fusion GPS research on Donald Trump, Paul Manafort, Russian figures, through to the Justice Department, not just to her husband, but to 3 of her colleagues. And we're going to be able to expose those emails tomorrow night and why they're relevant to both her sworn testimony to Congress and also the greater story about how did we create this false narrative. You're going to see a whole new flow of information we didn't know about until just a few days ago.
You know, Operation Crossfire Hurricane, more like Operation Boomerang. Sara, this is an enormous amount of information that is coming out 1,000%. There's no stopping this avalanche soon. There's nothing left on Russia, except Biden has to start explaining why he would have. I'd like to know why Obama was paying Fusion GPS also at the same time Hillary was.
That's right, Sean. I mean, there's a lot of questions still left unanswered. And I'll tell you this, it's going to expand far beyond what we know. I think what John and I first reported on years ago with the expansion of, spying or interceptions of emails and telephone calls, we're going to see that a lot more people were spied on than just people in President Trump's orbit. That I can predict.
All right. Thank you all. We appreciate it. We'll have you both back on tomorrow.